Okay, and we are going. Welcome back to the POPCAST. My name is Alicia. This is your first time listening. This is the POPCAST where we discuss all things popular culture and popular music and how those two are connected. If this is not your first time listening, you listen to other episodes, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. It helps out the POPCAST and helps out my project. So thank you again. I have several other episodes. If you have not checked those out, to go ahead and click on my channel if you're listening on YouTube and check out the rest of the episodes. You're listening on the Falcon Media website. I'm sure you can find them easily. I don't really know how they're linked or anything. But yeah, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. It makes me feel like I'm doing a good job. If you share it with your friends, thank you. I really appreciate every listen. Is amazing. Hold on, what are all these texts? What the is going on? Okay. None of these or anything. Okay. Yes. So thank you all for coming back week after week or episode after episode. I upload twice a week for these because I need to get them out. But thank you so much for coming back each time and listening to my lovely voice. I don't like listening to my voice, but if you do, great. I really appreciate it. Every listen is appreciated. So yeah, thanks for listening. As always, feel free to subscribe so you know when the next episode goes live. This is episode 7, I believe. That's crazy. So today we are going to be talking about, I'm just going right into it. I'm not wasting any time today, am I? I'm not rambling. Nothing. Today we're talking about the rise in vinyl sales. I originally had this, so fun fact, I recorded this last week. I recorded 2 episodes, and I never turned on the mic. Isn't that great? I went to edit it, and I have no sound. So I had recorded what was this episode, and I combined it with another topic that I'll talk about in my next episode. And I decided that I'm going to split them up into 2, because while they're connected, they're not connected. You get me? So I decided that I would just combine them into 2 episodes. Not combine them. I would separate the combined into 2, so I had time to delve into each topic, because they're both kind of data heavy, as was the concert one from last time. So I decided, I'm not going to overwhelm you all with data, and kind of just break it up so we can have a discussion about both and keep the discussion of the topic separate. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about the rise in vinyl sales. Also the decrease, but yet not complete decrease of CD sales. Because as someone who collects vinyl, I find this very interesting, and I think in the world of the internet and the digital age, the fact that something like vinyl is still like really prominent and like sales are just increasing is very interesting. I did a kind of a little small project with this last year for one of my classes. So yeah, I find this stuff interesting. Again, as someone who collects vinyl, I have a record player. I have probably like close to 80 or so vinyls in my collection. I've been collecting vinyl since I was 17. So I find it interesting because I am someone who contributes to these numbers. So yeah, I just thought we'd delve into that a little bit today. I'm not sure how long this episode's going to be, but I think it's a very interesting discussion, and it definitely relates to popular culture and like things, because it's part of like what today's generation is drawn to. It's what the public is drawn to, and it's definitely a interesting topic. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about it, because this is my show and I can talk about what I want. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. Like I said, I'm going to provide some data, and then we'll kind of just have a little discussion about it. So yeah. So this article, I'm pulling numbers. Okay. So I'm going to be talking about numbers from the first half of 2021, because we don't have the 2021 end of year data yet from the RIAA, which is the Record Industry Association of America. Those come out probably sometime at the end of this month is my guess. That's what from my research I've gathered. A lot of stuff comes out for that comes out like end of February. So a lot is going to be from the data from the first half of 2021. But I can definitely like talk about the end of year data when it comes out if you all are interested. But this says the Record Industry Association of America has reported that vinyl album sales in the first half of 2021 have grown by 94% in the U.S. Meanwhile, a survey carried out by MRC data shows that Gen Z consumers are buying more vinyl records than millennials. So, in 2021, just for the first half, record sales grew by almost 100%. Like 94% in the U.S. increase. And it's saying that Gen Z, which I'm technically Gen Z, I don't really identify with Gen Z, but I'm technically in Gen Z, are buying more records than millennials. And it said that the vinyl revenue from vinyl has hit $467 million, while revenue from CDs increased by 44% to $205 million. And both were an increase from 2020. Well, they just want to say it's a little bit unbalanced because many record stores, like physical CD stores, were shut down during the lockdown. Record store day got postponed, and they ran virtual events. So, yeah, and it's still saying that CD sales may have increased, but the figures still remain 19% down, lower than the first half of 2019. So they are decreasing a bit. So the amount of CD still did increase, but they're still not at the previous numbers. It said that CD sales accounted for 30% of physical revenue in the first half of 2021, while vinyl accounted for more than 2/3 of the physical format. So, yeah, very much an increase in sales. And this one is, so there's still, this one talks about a lot of 2020 data. And so in 2020, it was the first time since 1986 that U.S. vinyl sales topped CD sales. Yeah. So the past couple of years, vinyl sales have just been on the rise, which is kind of crazy because you think with like the ability to carry stuff like in our phone, let's have music on our phone. Right, I have my phone right here. I could easily pull up a song on Spotify in 2 seconds, but people are still okay. People are still going out and buying vinyls. They want that physical thing. People are still buying record players. People are still buying CDs. It looks like things like this are still on the rise, and it's I think that's very interesting, like to think about in the realm of like having everything available online and compact and everything. Like you would think that wouldn't be the case, but data is showing that people still want that physical thing. They still want to hold that thing in their hand. They're gonna willing to pay for it. Yeah, and it's like it's expensive. Like it's not cheap to buy vinyl. Like it cost. I don't think I bought anything for lower than $20. I think, for vinyl. I've paid. I think my Taylor Swift vinyl was like $50 or so bucks. Like my red Taylor's version. Like it's expensive. I don't think I've paid less than $20 for something. Like if I did, it was like a really rare occurrence. Like it's like that gets expensive. You think I have like 80 vinyls? Like that's a lot of money. Sure, some were gifts. Like that's great. I really appreciate like getting them as gifts and everything. But like when I go out and buy them, like they're expensive. Like when you go out and buy a vinyl, like it's not cheap, and so it's like you can easily get like thousands and thousands and thousands of songs on your phone for Spotify if you just pay like $10 a month. But people still want to have that physical thing in their hands. This article says that many vinyl records have become like prints and paintings. They want to display it in their home, the album art, the aesthetics of the record itself, the grooves of the vinyl. I mean, they want to look at, they want to appreciate. You know, people put them up as displays in their houses. They like opening it up, looking at the album artwork. You know, looking at the different pressings. Like nowadays, not just standard black. You can do different colors and designs and things like that on them. Like I have some really cool ones from different albums in my collection that are like just a solid color. You know, they have different like splatter designs or swirls or things like that. Like, I think they're cool. Like, I definitely will choose the cool pressing over the plain black one, but that's just me. Some people don't really care, but a lot of people do. They want the cool colors and designs and different things that are included with the vinyl itself. And, different stores will have exclusive. Like, Urban Outfitters is one that they oftentimes have, like, only get this album through Urban Outfitters, or just only get this design through Urban Outfitters. Target has some. I think Walmart's done a couple. Or there's, like, only exclusive to, like, an artist's website. It's different. It's like, it's different than, like, how it used to be. Like, there's so many different ways artists can release it, and it's like they become like collector's items. Like, people want the different versions, they want the different pressings, people will collect multiples of them to have the different ones in their collection. Like, people search for those different things, and that definitely has contributed to the increase in sales. Like, in the last I don't know, so many years, when vinyl started making a comeback, people were showing off their collections, showing what they got. That's definitely one of the reasons why I became interested in vinyl. When I was in high school, I saw different people online, showing off, they bought so-and-so's album on vinyl. I was like, I kind of want that, right? So when I was, 17, I asked for a record player for my birthday, and I was lucky enough to get one. My first one was, like, one of those suitcase, like, Crosley ones. And then I received 21 Pilots' Vessel on vinyl and Halsey's Badlands on vinyl. Those were my two first records, and I spun those on repeat, and then I just started buying them. I'd go to the mall, go to FYE, buy a couple. I ordered them online. I got some for birthdays and Christmas. I just continually grew my collection. And then last year for my birthday, I got a new record player for my birthday, and I love it. It's great. I think it's another Crosley, and it's like, it's really big and bulky, but I love it. It has, like, it's a CD capability and Bluetooth and radio and all that stuff on it, and I love it. The sound's pretty good. Like, it's great. I love it. I love my record player. I have all my records with me at school. I love listening to them. Like, it's like, I love adding them to my collection. If an album's coming out that I'm looking forward to, I will, if they have a vinyl option, I will pre-order the vinyl. And I want to add it to my collection, and, like, I just love it, and vinyl is one of the ways I, like, entertained myself during quarantine. I was like, I'm gonna listen to one vinyl in my collection a day, and I turned it into, like, a little thing on my TikTok and my Snapchat where I every day, if you throw way back to my TikTok account, like, to 2020, every day I would, like, Google would pick a random number, and I would go to that record in my collection, and I would pull that record out, and I would show it, and show the pressing, and talk about the album, and listen to it every day. And then I post it on my Snapchat. And that's just how I got through quarantine, right? I would just listen to a different album on vinyl every day, and it's great. Like, I loved it. I got to listen to music. Music sounds different on vinyl. Like, it's just a different experience. And I think that definitely plays into it, why vinyl is on the rise. Like, people want that experience. They want to listen to music on vinyl. They want to, hear the difference, and that's why people are interested in it. It's like, I think it's a little bit nostalgic, like, even not for the people who are buying it, but it's like, maybe for the people who are buying them as gifts for people. People who grew up on vinyl are real, like, can share their experiences with it. They could share their collection. It's something that, like, so many different people can relate to and enjoy, because it's appealing to a wide range of people. Like, people can get records from their family members who, grew up listening to vinyl. They can, search for the albums that, like, their parents or grandparents or people loved growing up and add them to their collection. They can all sit down and listen to vinyl together. Like, it's just so many different ways to experience it, and it appeals to so many different people, and I think that definitely plays a role in it. So it's crazy, like, to see, like, this isn't the first time, something like this has come back, for, like, so many, like, different fashion trends and stuff has come back, but, those come and go, but vinyl has been something that's stuck around. Like, I think I was in high school, I want to say, when, like, it really started making a comeback. I was probably, like, 15 or so, and I kind of, like, didn't really understand it for a while, and then I, like, was like, yeah, I get it, and then I became part of it, right, and I admit that, like, I Like, I wanted to be trendy and, everything, but I generally do enjoy vinyl. I love listening to vinyl. I love my record player. I love my collection. I'm going to cherish it forever. I'm going to continue to grow it. Like, I love it. And there are definitely people who just buy it just to have it, but and that's not the same thing with everything, right? There's always going to be stuff that people, buy just because it's trendy. But it is what it is, right? Like, people are, that's how trends are. But I mean, the record, like, I'm really interested to see what the numbers are this year, to see if it's still on the rise. I still think it is. It's, artists are constantly, when they now release albums, like, they're putting them on vinyl. Everyone has vinyl nowadays. Like, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, One Direction, Justin Bieber, like, everyone is releasing their stuff on vinyl nowadays, and things are getting repressed in vinyl. Albums that maybe weren't released on vinyl are now coming out on vinyl. Like, it's something that I don't think is going to go away anytime soon. That's for sure. Like, the numbers are showing that it's still a big trend. And this one talks about, I am streaming music 24/7 by having records. This article also talks about that having records has been a way of making my favorite music tactile. The student at the University of Toronto says, you can't really collect something on Spotify. This is just owning something that is dear to you. That's for sure. There's like, having the physical option of holding something in your hand and looking at it is so much different than, like, saving your favorite music on Spotify. Like, I could save music all day, but, like, I can only have so much on vinyl, right? I have to go out, search for it, find it, and pay for it. Like, I have to have that money to spend on that. So you kind of have to be picky. And so sometimes I am, but sometimes I just buy things just to have it. But I love it. Like, having that album in your hand is, like, it's giving, like, it's having something. It's a physical representation of what you're interested in, what you love and care about. Something that means a lot to you, right? Holding that album in your hand and opening it and looking at the pictures and pulling the record out and placing it on the record player. Like, that's a whole experience than just pushing play on your phone. And so that is an added bonus of having vinyl and why people are drawn to it, because it's something different. It's something physical and it's great. And, listening to vinyl isn't something that people are going to want to do all the time, right? Because it's different, right? You can't take it with you on the go. You can't, like, take your record player with you and bring it to class and listen to music. Like, but that's what Spotify and Apple Music and stuff are for. Having that ability to have it in your phone, but then you can go home and choose a specific album and put it in your record player and listen to it while you clean or do work or just want to relax. And then you go and you flip it and you listen to the rest of the songs and you change discs. And, like, that's a whole experience, and it's something that you seek and something that you want to experience. Whereas just taking your phone and listening to Spotify, it's just convenient. Like, it's not much different than, like, just listen. Like, it's not a whole experience, right? When you're listening to vinyl, you're seeking that sound, you're seeking that experience of listening to an album on vinyl. So that's something to listen to. That's something that, like, you want to experience. So that's what plays a role in why vinyls are on the rise. And CDs, they're on a decline. But they're still, like, up there. Like, there's still an increase in sales, but it's like the increase in sales isn't to the same level as, like, where it was, years ago. And I think that it's part of I think one of the reasons is, like, it doesn't have as much. The experience listening to a CD isn't the same experiencing to a vinyl. They're smaller, like, they're not different colors. Sure, the CD artwork can be interesting, but it's probably pretty similar to the vinyl stuff. And I think nowadays, CDs are a bit more portable. Like, they're portable than, like, a vinyl record. And, like, not as portable as, like, Spotify or whatever, but nowadays cars are not really having CD ports, People aren't using, like, alarm clocks anymore. They're using their phones and stuff, and when they do have, like, an alarm system, like, it probably doesn't have a CD port. A lot of computers nowadays don't have CD ports. So, like, the convenience of having something that, like, you already had that you could put CD in is, like, not as much anymore. Like, I know my current car and current laptop do not have a CD player, but I believe my record player does. So it's, like, the convenience of listening to CD isn't as big anymore. And, you know, they're just not as much of a collector item for a lot of people as, like, vinyls are, because vinyls have that bonus of, like, the different pressings, and, like, they're bigger, and, like, the experience of opening it up is, like, different than, like, opening up a CD case. Like, a lot of times it's just, like, not as much, like, you just pull the CD out, and, like, maybe it's, like, plastic or, like, whatever that material is, and it's just, like, a booklet. So it's, like, some people don't enjoy the physical aspect of a CD as, like, a vinyl is. And I think a lot of people grew up, like, a lot of people, like, my age and stuff, like, grew up with CDs, like, still a big thing, and then moved towards streaming and, like, iTunes and iPods and all that. So, like, people my age, like, there isn't much nostalgic or, like, need to go back there yet, at least, because it's still something fresh in their mind, possibly. I mean, I was still buying CDs, I think, to listen to up until I was, like, 16. Like, once I got my own Spotify account and I could, like, have music, I didn't have the need to, like, burn a CD anymore, like, so I could have it on my phone. Like, there wasn't much of a need to it, I guess, anymore. Like, I was buying, every time I go to the mall, I'd buy a CD or two, like, up until I was, like, 15 or so. And then I got my newest alarm clock didn't have a CD player, and then my car didn't have a CD player once my newest car didn't. So I was like, there isn't a need for it anymore. And so, like, the last CD I bought, I mean, I bought a Palais Royale. No, it's not even Palais Royale. It's Emerson Barrett with, it's a CD for, like, one of their side projects. So I have that. And, like, before that, I couldn't tell you the last CD I bought, to be real. Just because I don't have much of a, like, nostalgic feeling towards them, or, like, a draw to them, or, like, want to display them or collect them much as vinyl records do. And I think a lot of people probably feel that way. For many people, it might just be convenience of having them. Like, they still have a place to play them, or they have a nostalgic feeling towards them, or they like collecting them. And I think people who like to collect CDs is a little bit fewer than people who enjoy collecting vinyl. And that's probably why. I mean, CDs are cheaper, but I think the experience of listening to a CD isn't as great or as big of a draw to some people as listening to vinyl. So that definitely plays a role in it, for sure. But yeah, CD players, I think listening to CDs, I think maybe will make a comeback at some point. I don't know how long that will be. I don't know if it's, like, when vinyl will take a dip and then CDs will become big again. Like, that could be, as CDs become more as, like, not a thing, and then they'll make a comeback, possibly. Or maybe vinyl will just be the thing. Maybe vinyl will just be something that people are constantly drawn to and want to listen to and collect and look at. I mean, only time will tell. I have no way of knowing. I think a big indicator will be the 2021 report when that comes out, probably next couple weeks. I would have to keep a lookout for that. But yeah, I'm very interested to see where that goes, where the numbers go for that, because I think vinyl is going to grow again. Will it top CDs? I don't know. It did last year. By the look of the numbers from the halfway point, it looks like it probably will. And I think that trend will probably continue. But who knows? It could be a complete shock, and CDs can make a comeback. Who knows? I think COVID has shown that anything could happen. So who knows? Like, maybe the CDs will, like, have a sudden resurgence. But yeah, I think this is very interesting. Like I said, I collect vinyl and I contribute to this, and it hurts my bank account, but I like it. I have slowed down in my vinyl. I have not bought I bought a vinyl in December, I think it was, but I didn't buy any in January, so I'm proud of myself. Yeah, and for the first time in a long time, I don't have anything on pre-orders, so yeah, I've slowed down a bit. when I first started collecting vinyl, I was getting them all the time, but I have slowed down, so that's good. But I'm telling you, the minute it's Palais Royale, and that's just like their release date for the new album, they put vinyl pre-orders up. I'm gonna snatch that in a second. But yeah, so I think this is definitely something to look out for, something that we should keep an eye on. I'm definitely interested to see what the end of year report from RIAA says. I definitely do think the experience of vinyl, the idea of collecting vinyl and everything like that contributes to the want. And the want of vinyl, the search for vinyl, the increase in sales, everything like that definitely is contributed to. It's like all contributed to the increase in vinyl sales. This is interesting. I didn't read this first in my article. Popularity of vinyl is causing ripples in the music industry as the skyrocketing demand is rolling its supply chains. Vinyl, supply chain for vinyl. Like, that's the increase in vinyl has definitely affected the supply chains for it. Stores like Walmart, Amazon, Target are seeing they can make money on vinyl, so they're stepping into the vinyl sale. They account for 13% of all sales, up from 4% in 2018. But that means they're also placing orders for far larger independent record stores, and vinyl manufacturers are struggling to fill them. So there will be delays on orders. So yeah. For example, Taylor Swift announced her re-release of her album Red 4 months in advance to ensure vinyl would be available for its release. And so yeah, I know, like, when I got Red after it came out, but like her album Folklore, I pre-ordered, and that took a couple months to get to me. Same thing happened with Youngblood's album. When I pre-ordered it, he like delayed the album a week to see if we could get the vinyl in time, and it still took like over a month for it to get to us, which is fine. Like, I don't mind waiting for it, but that's something that's it's obvious. Like, the increase in vinyl is affecting supply chains, and it's going to cause delays. So that's something to factor in. Will the how will that affect vinyl sales? I don't think it will. I think people are just going to continue to pre-order them and stuff, and then it's just gonna cause an increase in sales even more. So yeah, vinyl. I find this all very interesting. I'm interested to see the years to come how long vinyl will stay on the rise. When will it plateau, and when will it start to decrease? I will definitely be keeping an eye out for that. I will definitely be keeping an eye out for the full 2021 numbers. But yeah, I'm definitely interested to see where this all goes. So, yeah. But yeah. But thank you all for listening. Let me know if you collect vinyl. Do you like vinyl? Do you prefer CDs? Why do you think there has been an increase in vinyl? Why do you think maybe CDs have kind of maybe plateaued or decreasing? What are your thoughts on that? Do you think vinyl's just not your thing? Do you not get it? Anything like that. Let me know what you all think. As always, just be respectful and I'll be respectful. Feel free to comment, email me, follow me on my social medias. They'll be down below. These articles will be linked down below for you to check out. Subscribe to my channel so you know when I upload my next episode of my podcast, of the POPCAST. So, yeah, if you're interested in knowing when that goes live, feel free to subscribe. Share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I'll talk to you on my next episode. Bye.